All right, good morning, everybody. Today is going to be Wednesday, June 29th. Let me start off by saying I am expecting a fairly large day in the Dow, either today or tomorrow. Usually happens right before a holiday. Don't think it's going to happen on Friday. It's usually that Wednesday or Thursday of the week prior. So do expecting a big move. Bias really looks like it's going to be more on the downside today based on what we're seeing on our scans. But let's quickly take a look and see what we're going to be trading this morning. If you look in the upper right hand corner, once again, the purpose of this live video is to demonstrate my approach to trading. It is different. I don't use any indicators. Everything that I do is based off of something that I found over 30 years ago that called behavioral patterns. And the nice thing about behavioral patterns is they are universal. Unlike an indicator, I can use them with any market I'd like to trade. So we're going to demonstrate it here. Looking at the indices, we're going to be looking at some commodities, also going to be looking at some forex pairs. So on the indices and on the commodities, I'm going to use a combination of my behavioral patterns and something that we call, it's a formula, it's called the Einstein. And what that does is that provides me with an exact entry price, a profit target, and a reversal if I don't hit profit. So if for some reason we have to reverse, it will provide us with a new profit target. Einstein across the board will hit profit target somewhere in the area of 72% overall and up. So about 30% of my trades, a little bit less, are going to be reversals. And then on the pairs, currency pairs, we're going to be using one of the 5 different behavioral patterns that we teach in our core package. And we're watching the Aussie US, the Euro US, and the US Yen for that. All right, so once again, on these symbols over here, ES is going to be the E-mini S&P 500. We're going to be watching RTY, which is the mini Russell. YM for the mini Dow, and NQ for the mini NASDAQ. GC for gold, SI for silver, CL for crude, and NG for natural gas, and BTC for Bitcoin. And then on the currency pairs, Aussie US, Euro US, and the US Yen. So right now I'm just doing a quick scan here to see if we have initial setups. May have some potential buys coming in on the mini Russell and the mini NASDAQ. We'll keep an eye on that. It hasn't quite formed yet, but trying to form a buy. Nothing on don't see anything on the metals. Possible buy coming up on silver, but that hasn't fully formed yet. And let's see. Yeah, nothing yet on the currencies. All right, so we'll just sit here and we'll wait. All right, still seeing no initial setups yet. Dow's going to open here in about 20 minutes or so, a little bit more than 20 minutes. So far, it looks like could see a higher opening on the Dow this morning. Excuse me. All right, so we are getting a buy now on the mini Dow, which is YM. I'm getting a buy on the mini Dow. Okay, that's going to bring me up to 310.88, 310.88. That is going to be my profit target, 310.88. And if we need to reverse on this Long position, we're going to reverse at 308.63. So if we don't hit our target and we hit a reversal point, we'll reverse, and then that will establish a new target on the downside. So 308.63 is that reversal. Okay, the only thing we have in play right now is this buy on the mini Dow. Looking for a target of 310.88. 310.88. Also, starting to get a buy now, getting a buy now on natural gas, getting a buy on natural gas. All right, target on natural gas. Let's take a look here. Gonna bring me up to 67.95, 67.95. If I need the reverse on this gas, I'm going to reverse at 66.45, 66.45. All right, still pretty quiet this morning. Just a couple things on right now. Running long on the mini Dow and also on the natural gas. Okay, we're still along the mini Dow, still long natural gas. Pretty quiet morning so far. Target on that, let's see here. Target on the mini Dow is going to be 310.88. All right, let me answer a few questions. Albert asked, "Is this for Nadex or other binary?" It can be. It can be not just binaries. You can trade it for. You trade it with future stocks. The idea is to demonstrate these patterns, this approach to trading, which is different than what you're used to seeing. I'm demonstrating it in indices, commodities, some forex. You can use Nadex as a platform. I do like Nadex overall, but you can certainly use it with any other market you want to trade in. Is PAP one of the? I wouldn't say it's the best. It's very important. The whole concept of it is very important to learn. But I wouldn't say it's the best. There are others. I mean, they're all equally percentage-wise. Are all pretty much going to be in that same somewhere in the 70 percentile and up in terms of predictability. Yeah, thanks, John. Answering those questions. John's actually he's a member not only of Core, but he's also trades Crystal Ball and he also trades Einstein. We don't do any Crystal Ball demonstrations. Crystal Ball's more of a scalping approach, very short term. But it is like everything else. Everything is based off of Core, and then as you move into Crystal Ball and Einstein, those are just other approaches that you can combine as a whole together to make it a powerful technique or approach to trading, I should say. So anyhow, the only thing we have going on right now is still along this mini Dow, along the natural gas. Still pretty quiet this morning. Still expecting a higher opening on the Dow. Yeah, Albert, that's a good question for John. It's just like any other, just like anything else, Albert. Whenever you're trading, think of everything when you're trading as any method, whether it be my method or anybody else's method. They're tools. They're just tools. I always, a good analogy is giving a tool to a, experienced carpenter, and he'll go out and he'll build you a nice house. But put that same tool into somebody that doesn't have any experience, and they're not going to be able to go out and build that, that house. That's just the reality of trading for anybody. It's the tool. You want to have good, reliable tools, all right? And for me, a reliable tool is something that's very specific, right? It includes no optimizable parameters, right? And the other thing that's universal. I mean, if a tool is so good, you should be able to use it trading an index, and you should be able to take that same tool, and if you want to trade cryptos with it, as long as it's what I call a freely traded market, right? You want the public, because it is based off of what I call behavioral patterns on a mass scale. So anyway, to me, that is a reliable tool. Okay, so you put that tool into somebody's hands. Once again, if you don't have experience, you're probably not going to be profitable. So, but it can certainly put the percentages in your favor. But then again, I don't want you to get too bogged down with percentages, because most people couldn't trade a method that was 98% accurate, which doesn't exist, by the way. But if it did, most people could not trade a 98% profitable method, because as soon as they have a couple losses, they're going to throw in the towel. They're going to give up. That's just typical trading for most people. We don't look at losses as losses. We look at it as expenses, right? So this is a business. You have to approach trading as a business. You have income, you have expenses. There is no business out there that exists that doesn't have expenses. And it's the same with trading. So you have to be okay with losses, or you have to be okay with your expenses. So anyway, we teach all that in core. It's a different mindset. We look at things a little bit differently than most. I'd say if you wanted to classify me, I'm probably more of a contrarian, which kind of makes sense, because if the public is usually wrong and 98% of the people lose money, that means you probably don't want to be doing what everybody else is doing, right? And that's another reason why you don't want to be using these crazy indicators. Price action is the key to trading. It's not indicators, particularly short term. So that's just a little bit about my approach to trading. So anyway, so here we are. Really, really quiet. Dow's going to open here in about a minute or so, minute and a half. In terms of profitability, over 40 years of trading now, the best anybody's ever going to be able to do, consistently across the board, is about 75%, somewhere in that area, give or take a few percentage points, because there is a degree of noise in the market which cannot be predicted. So anybody that claims that they can constantly hit it at 90%, they're not telling you the truth. They can hit it for 90% for maybe a few days, even a week. I've done that before. But it all comes back down to the mean, and the mean is somewhere around 75%. So as long as you have something that can keep you in that percentile, definitely puts the odds in your favor. But it's just like using a well-made tool. You still have to be able to master that tool. So anyway, all right, now it's getting ready to open up here. Yeah, and that's just being honest, Albert. We're being honest with you. We're not gonna. Let me take a look and see what this Dow's doing. Dow just opened up. Yeah, it's up 100. We're not gonna. We're not gonna throw a bunch of false information out in front of you. A lot of people do that. They just trade my method and you're going to get rich. It doesn't work. Nothing works that way. You still have to put the time in to understand the market. My approach looks at things more holistically. So we're never looking at just a particular. So if I'm trading the ES, right? If I'm trading the E-mini S&P, I'm looking at a lot of different things too. I'm looking at its relationship with other indices. I'm looking at its relationship with the other commodities. So we when we're trading, I want a validation of not only the pattern validating a buy or sell, but I want to see what those intermarket relationships are doing as well, right? So if you have something that has a 90% correlation with whatever you're trading, I like to see if it's a buy on the E-mini. I'd also like to see that other highly correlated instrument also to be looking at getting a buy as well. So we do things like that. So it's more of a holistic approach. So you never want to get micro focused on just one particular market. You want to look at everything a little bit more holistically. It gives you a much better picture. Okay, RTY is just getting triggered short. RTY, which is going to be your mini Russell. And I try to call these out as soon as I can, but keep in mind, when I'm trying to demonstrate here, sometimes they all hit at the same time, so I may not get to all of them immediately after they trigger, but when you learn this method, that's not something you want to depend on as me to call them out. You want to learn how I'm seeing them, where the buy and sales are coming into, and take it from there. Well, it's too late. Russell already hit its target, so forget about Russell. NQ, which is going to be your mini NASDAQ, is going short. Target on your mini NASDAQ is going to bring you down to 115.95. That's going to be the profit target. If we don't hit our profit target, we do have a reversal point up here at 117.05 and a half. Profit target hit. All right, we just hit target, so things are moving pretty quick this morning. Mini NASDAQ just hit its target. Still long our natural gas. Also, the mini Dow is still in a buy. It's been in a buy for a while, so it's still long on the mini Dow, which is interesting. Not moving very much. Target on the mini Dow is going to be once again 310.88. Reversal 308.63. Target on my gas is going to be 67.95. Not seeing anything in the currencies yet, so we're going to continue to watch that. Dow's down 22 right now. Good morning, Glenn. Now, Glenn is also one of our students. And I know, Glenn, you've been with us for what, a couple years? I can't remember. I know you go way back. And he trades core. I don't think Glenn trades crystal ball. I think he trades just core. And when I say core, that is a package. We call it it's called the core package. That's kind of the basis of everything, where I teach you the patterns, my approach to trading, my philosophy. Why not only do I like these patterns, but why I'm very confident that they're going to hold up, as I move into the future, which is really can't say that with any particular indicator. And the problem with indicators is you're constantly tweaking them, and that within itself should tell you something. Can't constantly be changing your numbers all the time. Not with these patterns; they haven't changed them in 30 years. But there's a reason why they work, and I go into a little bit more detail on that. All right, pretty quiet still on natural gas. Mini Dow seems to be holding in there. Now the Dow's only down. It was a 100 something. Now it was down. I don't know what 20, 30. Now it's pretty much even again. Wow, what a ride! Once again, keep in mind, always before a holiday, there's that 1 or 2 days where it's just you have a big day. So it's either going to be today or tomorrow in the Dow. I'm expecting a big. When I say big day, I'm talking about point wise. So should see some good volatility next few days, which is something that we like to see. No, yeah. Okay, so Ken, that brings up a good point. Ken, is will we be able to add the indicators to our Thinkorswim platform to receive the signals? The answer is no, and let me tell you why. Because these patterns, you're going to be able to identify them without the arrows. Now, when you become a student and we're trading during the day, and we do trade during the day and in the evening, so the room's open a lot. Okay, so it's pretty convenient for most anybody that wants to trade. And I like to trade both evenings, and I also trade in the morning. But the arrows, the buy and sell arrows, are to help you identify the patterns. All right, but you don't want to be relied upon. You don't want to rely on that, because you get a much better feel for price action in the markets without just looking for arrows. And that's why I haven't released it. It's not that I don't want to release them. And I may at some point in the future maybe release them for people that have had some experience under their belt. Because my idea is I want to get you to the point where you can become an independent trader. And I have a process. So we start you off with core. We'll go through all that, make sure that you can identify and be profitable in core. And then the next step would be going into crystal ball, and then of course Einstein. But yeah, there's a reason. I'm not just here to sell you a bunch of indicators, or I don't even like to call it an indicator. I don't want to sell you a bunch of plots on the screen that identify the patterns for you. I want you to learn to become a trader. There is nothing out there, and there will never be anything out there that will just plot buys and sells, and you think you can just buy and sell and make money. That just doesn't exist. There's more to trading than just what you're seeing on the screen. You have to look at. There's a lot more factors. You have to take a bigger approach, as I was saying earlier. You have to look at intermarket relationships. You have to understand whatever you're trading. You have to understand its normal personality. They all have normal personalities, but they do. Sometimes that changes based on news factors or whatever. And you have to be able to identify that. I mean, if you're trading something that's not acting normal, it's just like, just like a human can be unpredictable if they're taking drugs or whatever the case may be, right? They have some mental issues. It's the same thing with trading. So you have to identify what is normal. So if I'm trading ES, what is normal? If I'm trading the US yen, what does that normal action look like? So when you're in a situation like that, behavior is a lot more predictable. That's the whole. So everything's based on behavior, and people's behavior is predictable, and we can see it in the charts. But it's more of a holistic approach. All right, so I'm just hanging tight on the natural gas, which is one of my favorites. I don't do a lot of trading on the mini Dow, but it is in a long position. It is a buy right now. Nothing on gold. Nothing on silver. Nothing on crude. Getting a double buy over here on the US yen. You see those two carrots on the form there. If those hold, that'd be a nice little buy on the US yen. Yeah, I mean, and Ken, also keep in mind that, I personally think the best way to trade is to trade on the Nadex platform because there's so many advantages to it. And it doesn't limit me in terms of how I trade it. I could, just like I'm trading a E-mini S&P 500, if I want to trade it in a futures contract or I want to trade it on, I can do it. I can trade this if I want to trade futures, only on futures, right? Or if you want to trade stocks, you can do that. But Nadex gives us some advantages, right? So that's why I certainly like Nadex. So I can trade the overall market. Once again, I do really like trading the overall market instead of individual stocks. That's why I really, and always have, gravitated towards the indices. But you're certainly not limited to that, Ken. It is, and it doesn't. Once again, can I don't know approximately how many trades do you take a day? Yeah, that's a good question. Um, but keep in mind each setup. I think we looked at that, and from the morning now we're trading from. I'm Central, okay. So let me Eastern. That would be what, 9 to 4. So from 9 to 4, and then in the evening for 2 hours, you're probably gonna get about 30 setups total for whatever market you're trading. So you get about 30 on the euro, 30 on the yen, 30 on the Aussie. So it doesn't mean that we want to take every single one of those because we just don't do that, right? When a pattern develops, we have to see confirmation with other things that we're looking at. So also, I'm a big believer that less is more. So being a little bit more selective is really, really important. So you don't want to take too many trades. I think people trade too much and they end up blowing themselves out. There's times that are better than others. Like in the mornings are always really good. Evenings are really good. Afternoons not so good. So, understand that, you really want to thrive on that higher volatility. I've been trading for 40 years. So I've been around a long time. I don't know if you're talking to Glenn. I don't know if Glenn does this full time or not. I know John does. And it's, I mean, if you have a job, it can be kind of difficult, I know, for a lot of people because they don't have the time to sit in front of the screen, right? So, when you make that transition, never stop your day job until you know, and you can prove to yourself in the markets that you can be consistently profitable, right? And that doesn't mean every day you're going to make money because you're just not. Um, but you should have a lot more winning days than losing days once you get this mastered. Interesting. Getting a short on the gold right now. Getting a short on the gold. Okay, I'm going to put that target on gold to bring me down to 1820. 1820. And high 1832. So that reversal will be 1832 if we don't hit target. All right, so short gold, long natural gas, and mini Dow still hanging in there as a long, just not moving. Nothing yet on the currencies. Never got the double on the yen. Yeah, Albert, that's a really good question. Always start off with demo, then go to live, and we do have a process that will help you make that transition. Besides, you'll find that when you start trading live, honestly, it's easier than trading demo. So if you can make money in demo, you're going to be fine trading live, as long as, of course, that doesn't include your emotions, right? So as far as premium and everything, you don't have to worry about that. The thing is that a lot of people that go live, their emotions get in the way and they can't execute. So, but yeah, you definitely want to go through that process. And then once you do go live, and then you are working another job, you want to stay live for a while. You just don't want to quit your job just because you've had a couple good weeks of trading. You want to have months of good trading before you think about going, before you're doing it full time. So I'm just being honest with you. I'm telling you the truth. After 40 years of trading, I see too many people. They just all of a sudden they want to be a full time trader, and they're just like they want to be a full time professional quarterback, right? So I'll put you on I'll put you in the NFL. I'll give you football and a helmet and tell you go out there and be a quarterback. You got great tools. You're working with a great team. You think you're going to be are you going to be a good quarterback? You gonna make money for that? Are you gonna are you gonna win? You gonna win games for the team? So that's the reality of trading. Don't let anybody kid you. There's a lot of junk out there, and I'm gonna say it like it is. Trust me. When I started, I was buying a lot. I bought a lot of junk. I bought a lot of junk. It's just kind of the process for us traders. You kind of have to go through all the junk before you find some really good nuggets, right? All right, still short gold, long natural gas. See what the Dow's doing. Look at the Dow. Dow's up 62. May help that mini Dow start to come back up. You want to be Tom Brady? Yeah, everybody does, right? Guy's amazing. Yeah, see, Alan, you're asking questions. Percentage of profitability doesn't matter really. It helps put the odds in your favor, but it doesn't mean you're going to be a winning trader. My best trading day, if you've watched any of my past videos, my biggest trading day, I was 47% accurate. That's it, only 47%. So it's learning, identifying those really strong setups and then putting size on them. But keep in mind that doesn't always happen. So you want to just start off with singles, and then when you see something in there, you can go ahead and throw some size. Also, if you're trading 8x, it's going to be based off of premium. So, like last night when I was trading, I was selling it. Profit target hit. I had 10 contracts on. I was selling at $88, right? So my risk is $12 on $120. And it doesn't take much of a movement on the downside to make some nice money. So, it's all based on that too. So if you're trading 8x, premium is going to dictate that, right? You don't want to sell something, you don't want to put 10 contracts on and sell it at 20, risk 80 to make 20. That doesn't make sense. But if you're selling it at 90, now that makes a lot more sense because you're risking 10 to make 90, right? Or the potential, and you don't even have to go for 90. So when I'm selling at those much higher premiums like that, I'm scalping. I do a lot of scalping. I don't need to hold on to it to make the full $90. All right, so what just hit target? Well, there you go. So finally, the mini Dow did hit target. Still short gold, still long natural gas. And that's a really good question, Albert, on the size. Yeah, like I said, you do want to adjust size, right? But it depends on the individual. And it also depends on your experience and also your account size. So obviously the more money you have in an account, the more flexibility you have in terms of size. If you have a small account, you don't have a whole lot of flexibility. I don't know if I gave this buy on RTY, but it looks like RTY is triggered on the buy side. Too late to get in because I'm busy talking. I couldn't give that to you guys. Once again, don't be trading these anyway if you're watching me on YouTube and Facebook because there is a delay in broadcast. 15, 20 seconds or something like that. So the target on RTY is going to be... That's going to bring me up to 1729. 1729. Profit target hit. Okay, so gold just hit its short target, so get out of gold. Still on RTY, target of 1729. Still long natural gas. I don't see anything yet on the currencies. Also, if you guys are interested in getting started with Core or Core and CB, I do have some specials going on. Should be posted today. I have some emails going out. It's the best sell I've had all year. It's a really good bargain. So I'll be putting that out. So if you go to my website, binaryprostrategies.com, that should be posted a little bit later on the day. But I'm gonna have a nice little discount and add a few things into the package for both core and CB. Crystal ball. CB stands for crystal ball. What is this Dow doing now? Dow is now up 149. Yeah, another great man. Albert, you're asking a lot of good questions. Really good questions. How long have you been trading, Albert? You started 1 to 5 years. Has it been? Have you traded? You trade stocks, commodities, forex, and are you only traded on Natix platform? One and a half. Okay. Oh, I see. 1.5. I'm sorry. Gotcha. Well, good. Well, you definitely have some experience under your belt. Well, like most people, everybody starts off trying to find an indicator that's going to help them. But you know what? Let me give you a good analogy of an indicator, right? Okay, so, and I'm just using a moving average as simplicity. It could be any indicator, stochastics, Bollinger Bands, whatever. So you're a trader, you're trading the ES, and all of a sudden you find out that you have this great moving average, right? And it's 23-day moving average seems to make you a lot of money in the ES. Well, first of all, you're going to find as you move into the future that 23-day moving average is no longer your most profitable moving average, right? But the other thing, if you take that same 23-day moving average that you use in the trade, the E-mini S&P, and now you want to trade gold or silver with it, it's not even close, right? So why would somebody want to feel comfortable with an indicator like that? It's, to me, a good analogy is like, okay, you've got this spark plug, your engine's running really well, and all of a sudden you lose the spark plug, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to throw another dead spark plug into your engine thinking that that's going to make your car start to run better. All right, let's put 2 dead spark plugs in there. It's the same thing with indicators. People start stacking indicators. Well, if an indicator is good, it should not only work with whatever market you're trading, but that one indicator should be profitable no matter what you're trading, whether you're trading gold or silver or crude or whatever. But if it doesn't hold up, why do you think 2 indicators together are going to give you a better advantage in trading? It just doesn't work that way. I don't care. You see a lot of it online, but these guys don't trade online. All right? The profitable traders that trade online, they are price action traders. Yeah, you may see a bunch of indicators on their screens, but they're not using those. They're just using that as a basis because it helps sell, right? People love seeing indicators. It gives you confidence. It takes the guesswork out of trading. Well, you can't take the guesswork and hard work out of trading. All right? Professional traders that trade short term, they are price action traders. So that's the whole thing behind indicators. If you find something that's really, really good, you should be able to use it in anything that you're trading, not just one instrument. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, Albert, I understand that. So my thinking is different. And, another way of looking at indicators is, my approach to trading is just using simple, really just logic that isn't very evident at first. But if you think about the majority, what are the majority of traders using to trade right now? They're using indicators, right? So that's why they say the majority of traders lose money. Well, if the majority of people are all using indicators and everybody's losing money, that within itself should tell you that, you probably don't want to be using indicators. I mean, you don't, the light bulb went off for me one day when I said, well, wait a minute, everybody's losing money and everybody's using indicators. This is not the way to trade. All right, and these indicators, and I go more into that in some of my videos. We've done a lot of analysis. We've done backward testing, forward testing. We've had 100 years of data. There's not a single indicator that will hold up as you move into the future. The only thing that holds up are patterns, what I call behavioral patterns. All right, so now we are at the top of the hour, so that's going to end it for the free live broadcast. We'll continue on with our students. If you are on YouTube and Facebook, thanks again for joining us. Any questions, just go to my website, binaryprostrategies.com. You have more questions, I can answer them there. I do answer all my emails. Also, if you want to learn a little bit more about my strategies, you can always go to my YouTube channel, binaryprostrategies.com. Also on my website, binaryprostrategies.com, there is a webinar, and that will be available here, I think, for the next few days. It's a free webinar. Click on it, watch it. I do go in a little bit more detail on the core approach, so I think you'll find that interesting. And besides that, be looking for the special. Should have that out on the website by the end of the day. If you're on my email list, you will be getting that email. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so I can keep you updated on any new videos. And also hit that notification bell. This way you don't miss any new videos. All right, everybody have a good trading day. Looking forward to today's action, and tomorrow should see a lot of volatility. And we'll see y'all first thing in the morning. Y'all take care.